Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 5, I believe, of the Chilat Chats con CLCA. My name is Laura Elizalde, and I'm going to be your host today. And with me are some very special guests, and I'll go ahead and let them introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Jose. I am a second year, and I'm CLCA's treasurer.
Hi guys, I'm Jasmine and I am the marketing director for CLCA.
Cool. So, as you guys can probably already tell by the title of this video, today's topic is going to be conspiracy theories. And the reason that I chose this topic is because, one, I love like a really good, compelling conspiracy theory. But then, two, my freshman year at Davis, I actually took a seminar on conspiracy theories. And so, like, ever since then, I've been super interested in conspiracy theories, and I like love talking about them. So I just thought, like, why not make a video that's more or less like a fun podcast, and just talk about what people believe to be true. So let's get started. I guess, like, first thing, in case there's people out there, and I'm sure like most people have heard of conspiracy theories, but some people may not know what they mean or what the definition is. So do either of you guys want to get a jab at like what a conspiracy theory is?
I feel like a conspiracy theory is hard to like define.
Okay, so I'll just give like the dictionary.com definition that I found.
Okay.
So a conspiracy theory is a theory that rejects the standard explanation for an event, and instead it credits a group or organization with carrying out a secret plot. So there's a lot of conspiracy theories that have emerged over the years, and obviously some are a lot more like plausible and believable than others. But you know, there's things like the 9/11 conspiracy theories, JFK, like the moon landings, and then there's obviously like Area 51 and aliens and all of that like stuff. So I have a couple conspiracy theories that I wanted us to like talk about, but I guess I can start by asking, like, do you guys have any conspiracy theories that you know that you wanted to share or like talk about today?
I kind of wanted to talk about musicians like faking their deaths conspiracy. We can talk about that after the aliens and JFK.
Okay, cool. So
I kind of spoiled what we're going to talk about.
I kind of already hinted at what we're going to be talking about. So one of the conspiracy theories that I like really enjoyed discussing is JFK's assassination. So I'll kind of give a quick like brief overview of what that whole thing is, just because there's a lot of conspiracy theories revolving around President John F. Kennedy's death, and like you could literally talk about them for hours. But so John F. Kennedy was assassinated on November 22nd, 1963. He was struck by 2 bullets, one that went through his neck and then one in the head, which was ultimately the one that killed him. And so this all happened while he was riding in an open-top limo through Daley Plaza in Dallas, Texas. And so the story goes that there was a man who was at the top of a 6-foot window, and this person just like shot out the window and it hit him while the car was driving by. And so this person ended up being Lee Harvey Oswald, who was charged for killing the president, John F. Kennedy. And it was stated that, you know, he acted alone and that he wasn't working with any group or groups of people or like any person to conspire to kill the president. But we obviously never found out the truth, because 2 days after JFK's assassination, Oswald was actually killed by Jack Ruby in the Dallas Police Department.
Wow.
Wait, Oswald is the guy who killed JFK.
Yeah, so that's the person who was like charged for killing JFK.
Jack Ruby.
I think that's someone I'm not positive, but I know that he's the person who killed Oswald, and it happened within the police department. I wasn't sure who that person was. But so obviously because Oswald was never able to give his side of the story, like a lot of conspiracy theories resulted because of that. So, you know, there's people who say like he wasn't acting alone, that there had to have been one other gunman, and like there's people who think that it was a mob hit because apparently JFK was like involved with the mob who helped him win the election. That's like another theory. And then there's like my favorite theory, which is that it was an inside job and that the government had something to do with it. So we can kind of further talk about that, but if I show up missing tomorrow, you guys know. So JFK was highly interested in space and like the discovery of space, and he even had like a speech where he was addressing like how, you know, the Soviet Union and the United States needed to work together, and like that this wasn't about competing against each other, but rather just like further discovering outer space and everything that was out there. And so there was actually discovered like later on that 10 days before JFK was assassinated, he had sent a letter to the CIA where he was demanding to have like highly confidential documents about UFOs shown to him. And then 10 days later, he turns out dead. And so there's a theory. Yeah, so there's a theory that like because he was pressing so much on like space, and he even like said one time like, you know, we're gonna get to the bottom of this, like we're gonna find out the truth, whether there are aliens or not. And like some people think that this was like the government just like trying to silence him and just like put an end to his life, basically.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like he was basically like figuring stuff out for like people that are not in the government stuff, because he had too much power, or like, you know,
or he knew too much. I don't know.
He knew too much.
What are your guys' thoughts on that? Like, do you think that's believable, or
why would why would the government want to have like the aliens? I'm playing devil's advocate, but like why would the government want them to like silence the discovery of aliens or stuff like that? Like what do you guys think?
Like, what's the importance of aliens? Is that a question?
Like, why would they want to not release that information?
I guess like kind of dives into like the other topic that we were going to talk about, which was like just aliens and Area 51 in general. And so, for those of you who don't know what Area 51, essentially it's like this area where it's an Air Force base that's like 150 miles from Las Vegas, and people believe that there they have like pieces of crashed UFOs and stuff. But like to answer your question, Jasmine, I feel like sometimes, and this is just in general, like not even about aliens, but just different stuff, like the government has certain enclosed information because they either don't think the public can handle it, or like if the public was informed about it, like people could just kind of become too like cynical or start to freak out, or like I don't know, like I mean, just look at the pandemic, for example. Like when it happened, everyone was like going to the grocery stores and like stocking up on toilet papers and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like there's some information that like the general public, at least in the eyes of the government, like the general public can't handle. So instead they like try to like shush it down.
Maybe like aliens is a way to shush it down. Like aliens is like an idea, you know, but they're hiding something else that's like way worse than like aliens, you know. Maybe aliens is like a cover up for military weapons. Yeah.
It's like right here, and then it like
there's like some deep stuff that like is not being revealed because aliens are taking like, oh, everyone's focused on aliens. Well, like there is no aliens yet, but there's actually something else that they're hiding.
Yeah, no, that's, I mean, like, there's also people, like, with the whole Area 51, there's also people who think, like, that the government is, like, also doing research on, like, time travel there.
Oh.
That's, like, a whole other theory of its own, like, whether or not you believe in, like, the ability to time travel. But, like, I don't know. There's people who think, like, that so because aliens and like UFOs are supposed to be like they're supposed to have like super advanced technologies, they think that the government are like learning from these technologies and like breaking it down and using that to like apply it to something else and like make who knows what with it. Like, so
that sounds like something like out of a movie or something.
I was gonna say that.
what are your guys' thoughts on like aliens and like UFOs and stuff, and like do you believe it?
See, like, I'm pretty sure, like, mathematically, there is life out there. Like, there is. Like, mathematically, there is. But
What do you mean by that? Like
there's so many planets or like solar systems, like, and there has to be life, or not specifically humans or some type of humanoid thing, but there's like life out there,
something, yeah.
And yeah, that's my perspective on aliens. I don't know.
No, it's crazy because like I feel like there has to be aliens. Because like, what makes humans so special? Unless like God is real, but then that's a different story.
That's another.
That's a religion topic.
That's for next week.
But yeah, I feel like there has to be.
I agree.
Like we're one of them. We're one of them. We're aliens to like another planet.
Oh yeah. No, yeah. I agree. I feel like there are aliens, and I feel like the government definitely knows about them. And I don't know. I guess I don't. Yeah, like you guys were saying, I find it hard to believe that like with as big as like space is, that we are like the one and only living, entities like in Earth. Like that's crazy to me.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah.
It's scary. Like if we if we mess things up, like we're screwed. Like there's no life ever. Like is it scary to know that there are aliens, or scary to know that we're alone?
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy to think about.
Okay, and if we had the ability to talk to aliens, like, would you guys want to, or would you be scared to?
I'd be down.
I don't know.
Would they be smarter than us?
Yeah, like would they know things that we never figured out? Like
probably.
I mean, my theory is yes, because like if UFOs are real and if UFOs have really landed here, that means they're way ahead of us because they've been able to come here and find us.
Yeah.
But we haven't been able to go to their home yet. So that means that they're like way ahead of us.
In technology and yeah.
Future Jasmine, just an astronaut. She's like, that's true though. But like, yeah. So they must be like way ahead of us with technology.
That's why they're being covered up, because we can't be exposed to that technology yet.
They're being covered up because the government already killed them because they're smarter than us. So they're stealing. The government is stealing the aliens' like technology.
Yeah. I could see that. I could so see that. Especially like between like countries and just like, the US versus like other countries, like you always want to get ahead technology wise, like ahead of other countries technology wise, just for like security purposes. So I feel like every country having their own motive for like hushing aliens and like trying to get it ahead with technology, like, which is another topic, but like that's insane.
And that's what was going on at the time. Like they were rushing to like get to space or whatever between Soviet Union and United States. So that's what was going on at the time. So that's probably what they were covering up. Well, I don't know.
And then also like JFK was like really like advocating for collaboration, but like if the government had another agenda and like they didn't want to collaborate, like that was just another reason to like take him out and just be like, we're doing what we're doing. Like,
yeah.
Which is insane. But I think like overall the scariest thing is just knowing how much of an ability the government has to hide stuff from us, and like if they want to, like they will keep things hush hush, which is scary. But
I feel like that's hitting me more right now with COVID-19. What do we know? How much do we know? How much do we really know?
Yeah.
We're not sure. Like we can believe stuff on the media, but we never really know.
Yeah.
We know what's out there.
Especially with like you know, in relation to COVID and stuff, like that just brings up this whole like things with like medicine and disease and like how we don't have cures to things, but then there's theories that like we do actually have cures to stuff, but like it's just more convenient and profitable to not cure those diseases.
Right.
It's insane. I don't want to believe that's true, but like sometimes I wonder. Like we've been going at it for so many years trying to find cures for some of these diseases that like I just find it hard to believe that we haven't yet. Like for certain things.
Like cancer.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah, like you said, I heard people might have a cure, but they're just not releasing it.
Yeah. Well, Jose, you kind of wanted to talk about a third topic, so I'll let you do that, and then we can discuss it a bit.
Okay. I think some of you may know the David Bowie and Kanye West conspiracy. So I did some research before the podcast, so I kind of know the idea. But so basically, David Bowie predicted the fame of Kanye, or maybe even more, maybe even the legacy of Kanye. Uh, okay, here it is. Okay, so I'm gonna look up.
Incognito. In case the government's watching, just switch to incognito mode.
So, with the album of The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust. So here, this album was released in let's see right here in 1972, right? 1972, and in the album cover, like the main thing is David Bowie here, you know, and we see right above his head a sign. I'm not. I think this is in London. I think this picture or art painting is set in London. And we see it says K West right there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I had noticed that. I noticed that a long time ago. I'm like, why does it say K West? And I was like, I mean, it's probably just coincidence, you know, K West. But no.
But no.
I found this. As I did more research, I saw a couple YouTube videos. They explained that in the first song of this album, we see that. Let me see if I can pull up the lyrics to the first song. The first song is called 5 Years, right? David Bowie, 5 Years. And there's a part where he says, so this song is basically about a savior of Earth. Because Earth is dying. Within 5 years, Earth is going to die. That's what the lyrics of the song is. It's talking about how the world's going to end in 5 years. However, there's a savior, and this person is a starman. So that's the whole concept of this album. And there's a starman that's coming in 5 years. It says right here. We've got 5 years, and he says, wait, I lost my train of thought. Anyways,
Starman. You said that there was a Starman that was in
there's a starman coming. Yes, okay, exactly. There's a starman coming in 5 years. Now let's remember that this album was released in 1972, right? 1972. And if we look up when Kanye West was born,
bruh.
Kanye West was born in 1977, June 8th. This was released June 16, 1972. Within 5 years, Kanye West was born in 5 years, almost exactly 5 years. And you're like, okay, that's a coincidence, you know, K West and the sign, 5 years. Okay, like that's such a coincidence. But in Bowie's last album, he sings. Here, let me look up Black Star. He sings about the black star. You know, a black star. And in one of his lyrics, I forgot which song was it. Let me see. Oh, here it is. He says. Something happened on the day he died. The day he died. spirit rose a meter and then stepped aside. Somebody else took his place and bravely cried, "I'm a black star." So the conspiracy interprets this is that when Bowie died, oh, okay, when Bowie died, huh? Someone else like took his place. This person is a black star. Kanye West is a black star.
What?
This is crazy. Now I pulled up the website that explains it now, but it's crazy because he passed away in 2016, and Kanye West, you know, he shared his condolences. But like, there's another song in the track list of Black Star that that and the name is Lazarus. The name of the song is Lazarus, and in the Bible, Lazarus is a man who died and was resurrected by Jesus. And Kanye makes a lot of references to being a god, you know, and being like Jesus, you know. And this is kind of like, I don't know, it's interesting, a connection between.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. So I don't know. What do y'all think about that?
The question is, how did he save us then? Like, how did Kanye West save us?
I'm pretty okay. We don't know exactly yet. I mean, I guess we can say in people's lives, he may have saved somebody's life, you know, with his music. Or maybe it just hasn't happened yet, that Kanye hasn't, like, something's happened. There's like, Kanye's not done yet. We still have to like wait and see.
I'm not saying that I like believe this for the record, but like, also to add on to this, like, Kanye recently started his whole like path to like gospelness and like holiness, that he's like, I feel like that's been a recent thing that happened, like that his take on like music being more holy, like.
Right. Yeah, so who knows? I mean, he said he has tracks that says "I am a god," and then and I don't know, it's just crazy. Also a little bonus thing that 3 days before after David Bowie died, Kanye produced one of Sia's songs. You know Sia, the one with the wig. Sia's songs that Kanye produced, and the name of the song was Reaper, as in like death, like Reaper. I don't know. That's something else.
That's after David Bowie died?
Yeah, that was after, yeah. The song was released after 3 days after David Bowie died.
I guess what are your final thoughts on that, Jasmine? Do you believe it?
I feel like that's a stretch, but I don't know. Maybe David Bowie was talking about Kim West. I'm just kidding. Maybe it predicted their marriage. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like that brings a whole other like conversation up too, of like whether or not you believe in resurrection, because that's what it sounds like you're implying, right? And like this whole idea of like you having a second life, like after this life, like.
I don't know. I feel like it's not really like a second life, but almost like Bowie kind of predicted Kanye's rise. Kanye's rise, like the rise of Kanye. You know, like he kind of and Kanye is like a living star man, like, you know, that he described. Like he is that, like that person that he created within his songwriting. Kanye is that person.
That I buy. That I could see, like, I don't know.
You know?
I'm not saying I buy this particular like incident, but I'm saying like I can buy like people predicting things that are gonna happen, like.
Maybe like Kanye's the musical savior. That's like my, like he's done a lot for the music scene, you know. So yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you, Jose, for sharing that. Jasmine, do you have any conspiracy theories that you wanted to share?
I know nothing about conspiracy theories.
That is fine. But that pretty much wraps up everything like we had planned. Obviously, there's so many more conspiracy theories out there, some of which we mentioned earlier, and then a lot more besides the ones that we mentioned. But hope you guys enjoyed this. I definitely enjoyed this conversation. Thank you, Jose and Jasmine, for joining us today in today's podcast. For all the members watching, hopefully you guys can continue seeing everyone else's podcast throughout the next couple of weeks. And we hope that you guys are staying safe and healthy at home. Any final thoughts, guys?
Stay safe.
And the truth will come out one day.
The truth will come out.
Okay.
We will know the truth.
Okay. Thank you, guys.